Yeah, sometimes you get some dense fog like this. The consistency of the fog fluctuates as you go through the fog. So there are parts when it's very visible and then it gets really thick and then it opens up again. But as you go through it, like on the camera, on the recording, it doesn't look that bad because you could see farther ahead. When you're actually driving in it, it's not that far ahead. it's kind of like an optical illusion. It's very thick at points. There are points like in this footage where it's kind of open, but there are points when it thickens up and it's hard to see very far ahead of you. Yeah, so the last time, I think it was a couple weeks ago or so, but the last time I was in Nevada at Prim, there's a Flying J truck stop over there. I was walking to the restroom from my truck, and I kid you not, a car pulls up and tells me, hey, you want to buy some earbuds? They look like imitation AirPods. I think he said AirPods, right? And he's like, please, bro, please, I need money for gas. Please, bro. I'm not making this up. You know, I fell for that, I think, last year with a stupid gold ring. But this guy, his acting wasn't as good. But I've already, been duped before, so I did not fall for it. Fake AirPods. I don't know how much you wanted. I didn't even entertain the idea. I just said, nope, not interested. Kept walking. So yeah, I made it to this truck stop in Avenal off the I-5 freeway coming down from NorCal. And this place is the Easy Trip. It's off of Lassen. Anyway, I like stopping here because they have probably the best burritos on the I-5 when you're going up and down the I-5. So inside the truck stop here, there's a Mexican restaurant and their burritos are really good. So the place is called El Sabroso and it is inside the Easy Trip next to the subway inside here, but you have to order like you order at a subway and you have to go down the line and tell them what you want inside. So this is half the burrito here and I had them cut it in half because it's so huge. And it's called the El Sabroso burrito, and it is half shrimp and half steak. Really good. Added some guac in there and some salsa, rice and beans. So one of the big driving factors in anybody being interested in another person is interest. Something interests you about that person, whether it's looks, money, power, prestige, what they have, their position in life, their wit, their personality. Something is attracting you to that person. And if you and that person are interested in each other, you've got some things that they're interested in, they've got some things that you're interested in, and eventually over time, you guys get together. But here's the thing that probably affects most relationships. People start losing interest in you, not because they don't appreciate you, but over time, they start being more involved in other things, and those things become a priority. Eventually, they start taking you for granted or put you in the back shelf, or they just, out of sight, out of mind sometimes. But something happens where their energy and their focus ends up going to something else. Some people are really good at being able to juggle a lot of different types of interests and energies. But other people, they go into something, they get busy with work or they get busy with something else. And all of a sudden, the amount of attention that gets poured into you starts to just cut out. This is, I think, one of the big things that happens when couples have their first child and the mom, naturally, all their energy goes to that baby. And sometimes the guys freak out because before they had all this attention coming to them, somebody was taking care of them or noticing them or giving them attention. But all of a sudden, that special somebody is all of a sudden putting all that energy into the baby. And I kid you not, there are some legitimate dads out there that just end up getting frustrated or jealous or have issues, And this is normal because you've got a certain amount of energy coming your way and all of a sudden it gets taken away or it gets diverted or it gets withheld. And sometimes it's for legitimate reasons. But a lot of times, people are self-consumed. We are interested in what we are interested in. And for a season, it may be you. And over time, it's not you anymore because they're interested in something else, something random, something, a new hobby, a new job, a new career move, a new person sometimes, right? Unfortunately, even though it seems like there's a reason that they're into something else or they chose something else, at the end of the day, it's because they're self-consumed. It's about them, their wants, their needs, their desires, their interest at that moment. Over time, your relationship, your hot relationship that you were into, the marriage you got into or whatever, it's human nature that they fade away. They fade away over time. And you may deeply love that other person like it's a part of you, but your focus isn't that much on them anymore. It's like most people in America believe in God, but how much energy do they put into God? You know they love God. They know they want to get to heaven, but you know what I mean? It's just like sometimes human beings are like this. We're not prioritizing properly. It's not healthy for us. And so I want to encourage you guys, you can't really control that other person's interests. If they've got an itch they got to scratch, you got to let them scratch it, basically, right? Unless it's something toxic. What you can do is control your energy level. Because remember, when it's all about you, it's hard for other people to love you. So what I'm saying is that when we get so self-consumed, so into ourselves and the things that we want to do and whatnot, the people that are close to us a lot of times get driven away because there's no room for them. And throughout history, you see so many people in relationships back in the day that try to accommodate, their thoroughbred horse, their significant other that has this drive or this crazy responsibility or this job, and they go out there killing it, making money, being that celebrity or doing whatever they need to do. And you're sitting behind the scenes with a big capacity, letting them use all their energy and all these other things, but they have hardly any time for you. It almost seems like a long-term investment. Well, when things cool down, they'll spend time with me. And you sit there, and all of a sudden, they've lost complete interest in you. They found somebody else or something else is going on, and you end up losing in this relationship because you were taken for granted and what they were doing didn't include you. And I think it's important to, from time to time, not being a nag, keep them accountable, keep these people in check once in a while. And I'm not talking about being like paranoid or like, out of fear, like freaking out on them. Just say, hey, I'm here and you better take care of me. You better appreciate me while you're going through this. But at the end of the day, even though you keep that person accountable, they make their own decisions and you make your own decisions. Like I said, you can control your energy level and you can control how much you want to deliberately show love to these people. I think it's important that we really do these self-reflection times, like checkups, where you think about, where's my life at? How much time am I spending with the people that I love or I'm supposed to love and the people that I am supposed to appreciate? How much do I appreciate them? And have I shown them lately? And I know a lot of us drivers, we're out on the road. When you're shut down for the day, give them a call. When you get home, make a meal, depending on what that significant other's love language is. Scratch their itch in that way. But make sure it's not like a one and done, but you have this rhythm in life. Make sure, if you believe in God, you're spending quality time with him and doing what you need to do with him. And then when you have significant others, whether they're your children or somebody you love, be deliberate in the way that you spend time with them. Be deliberate in your energy levels and make sure you show them that you love them in the ways that they appreciate and not just doing things because you think, oh, I'm going to do this to show love, and you don't really consider them. The more I think about relationships and how they get on edge, people are ready to break up or whatever, I think there are realistic common fixes for these issues, but we just get stuck in this crucible, these situations where we can't get out. We're not even aware of where we're heading to, and we end up in disaster. We think it's a better future sometimes or a better alternative, but it ends up being disaster. Make what you have better. You don't need to necessarily try to erase what you have and restart, because most of the times, the things that you didn't like about what you had probably had more to do with you than that other person. We all have a big capacity to be able to make things better. So anyway, I want to challenge everybody. Do what you can and make things better, and make sure you let those people that you love around you know that you love them. What is going on, my people? So this week was a very smooth week. Unlike last week, very, very smooth. Over 2,200 miles, one round trip to the Phoenix area and back, and then 2 round trips up to NorCal. So all in all, a good week. Can't complain. Didn't have any issues with the loads. Didn't really have too many delays. Didn't even really need to call the back office, which is a rarity, Didn't really need help. Everything that they planned went smoothly. Yeah, they took good care of me this week. So thank you for following me on this journey. God bless all of you. If you're a driver out there, stay safe. Peace. Until next time, cheers.